y'all went into a church talking about church, and the next video is about church.
Hey everyone, Pastor First Name here from Random Action Verb Church.
And I'm Secretary Worship Leader.
And I'm so excited for this next spiritual season that's going to birth new Jesus life for our community.
I have no idea what that means.
I'm also very excited to announce our newest message series titled You Go Girl.
Yay!
Bring your scuba gear and let's dive into biblical womanhood.
That's the first and only time he's used the word biblical.
Everyone's invited as I unpack what being a godly woman really looks like.
Are you gonna have any women preach it all?
Absolutely not. I can't wait to preach it though.
And I can't wait to be relegated to kids ministry.
Come and watch me as I butcher, dissect, and misinterpret stories like Eve, Esther, and that one chick that hit on Boaz.
He has absolutely no idea why this is wrong.
Women are the backbone of the church.
Hold on.
And that's why I acknowledge them as little as possible. There it is. Preaching this for 6 weeks is gonna be a treat.
Because who better to mansplain womanhood than this guy?
See you there.
I'm gonna be fired soon for not honoring his vision.
Lazy church slogan.
Liz, you were on mute.
What?
He said,
I said that was perfect.
yeah.
Okay. We're going to preach the Jesus life right on into this. You know, women are the backbone of the church, which is why I acknowledge them as little as possible. And then, like she was in there talking about, and I'll be relegated to children's ministry because in a lot of the, not all, mainly outside of the black church, but it's really big in the Christian church though, where women cannot be in a position of teaching to men. They can't be a teacher or authority to men. They can to children.
Yep, to children.
And they're not able to, what is it? Preach the gospel. They can only teach the lesson. Yeah, it's weird. It's
and
so
missionaries are preachers,
weird.
but hey, whatever.
I grew up around religion, like, and I don't mean religion.
I grew up in the black church, so
it's the black church, but my uncle was a pastor. Now my brother-in-law is a pastor. My father-in-law is a pastor. My aunt is a pastor. Here's where we get to my aunt who's a pastor. They call my uncle pastor. They call my aunt mother pastor.
What?
Oh, so they don't call her evangelist?
Yeah.
That's the one I grew up with. That's the one I grew up with.
My aunt who married my mom was called mother pastor. So I'm like,
she performed the ceremony. She didn't marry.
But she was the pastor.
Well, she was the pastor.
She was the pastor.
Oh, okay. Because you said marry my mom, and I'm like, wait a minute.
She did. It was a beautiful ceremony. She is a pastor. She's an ordained pastor.
She officiated.
In her church, she's known as mother pastor,
which is weird.
That is weird. I've never heard of that one.
Because I've heard, because the first lady, which is the spouse of the pastor, is oftentimes referred to as the mother of the church as well.
Yeah.
Right?
But when is she
even
young?
if she's not the elder, she's still considered the mother of the church, unless they defer and then they just call her first lady. And
yeah, now that's where I go to. Now I'm just like, okay, this is so annoying, but I'm gonna shut up because I'm just here. I'm just here. I'm going
off of what Tracy said. What if she's young?
Yeah, because if she's young, she ain't going for that mess. I'm sorry.
Pastor, she's still first lady.
No, I don't even like that title. I don't.
And different churches do it. Just like you can be called an elder and you ain't even 25 years old.
Pastor. Different churches have different titles for different things.
Yeah, in the Jehovah Witness cult religion thing, like they young men, 25 years old, elders. Non-denominational churches, a lot of times they have elders, right? Mm-hmm. Which is a stand-in for maybe a deacon or a minister. I'm not sure how that works.
The elder, as I remember it, the elder is, and it could be different. I'm just telling you from my upbringing, okay? The elder is an old deacon. When you don't want to be deacon anymore, you become an elder. So
think in the
once
Quaker
higher, so to speak,
community, you're an elder too. I think.
yeah, once you stop being a deacon, you become an elder. So when
I don't
people
know.
go to the deacons, and the deacons, so who do the deacons go to when they have an issue that they can't solve? They go to the
The
elders
elder.
because they have
Okay.
more experience.
And I guess the missionaries are supposed to go to the mothers.
Technically.
Yes,
Even though I've never seen that happen, but
it doesn't. That's why I was pausing a little bit. Like, yeah, he's
it's just
supposed
interesting.
to, but
It's all
Mm.
different. It's all different. Just like, you have people who some churches call their leadership apostles and bishop and all these different things, and I'm just like, y'all handing out all kinds of titles, ain't you?
well, bishop.
What?
Okay, now that's
Now that one I do
You don't
know.
have to be Catholic
that
to be
was a little
bishop.
different. Bishop is the top person in the church. They run the church. That's the bishop.
That's the apostle. I thought no, the apostle's the church planner.
I thought the
Never mind.
pastor was the top one at the church.
Ah,
No.
that what makes the difference right there. Is the bishop runs the church. He can have several pastors.
See, I know a senior pastor, and then the senior pastor can have
And that's something.
junior pastors.
But there's
no such
a
title as
bishop.
junior pastor. Oh my gosh, there's no such title as
I
junior
don't know at this
pastor.
point in time,
Yes,
but I
there's
When they-
senior.
Because
My
they
cousin-
franchise
my
now,
cousin is-
Tracy.
my cousin
Where they
is-
got
They
like multiple.
franchise.
My cousin is
These
a pastor.
churches are franchised.
Yeah,
Franchise.
yeah.
Okay, look,
You got the main
Trust
campus,
me,
and
I'm
then they
not
got
gonna-
like 2 other campuses.
but they're not called junior pastors.
Believe Tracy.
What they call?
Believe me, I'm not
They're
going to
just
say.
called
I'm not going to say
pastors.
the name. I'm not going to say.
You can't be the pastor. You got another pastor.
Hold on. I'm not going to say the name of the church. I'm just going to give you story time. Here's the story time.
And it's almost Sunday.
Yeah, that was your problem. The point is, my aunt goes to a certain church. I'm not going to say the church's name because I'm not. Yeah. Anyway, the point is, my aunt goes to a certain church. I know what the church is. I went to the church here in North Carolina. My aunt got married, moved to Virginia. My mom said, "You want to go visit your aunt? Cool. I have no problem with that." This is when I'm really young, 9, 10 years old. So my aunt and my uncle, my new uncle, came down, picked me up. We're driving back to Virginia. Oh, you ready to go to church? We're gonna go to church. And I went, oh, okay. Well, thinking to myself, because I was raised differently, like, okay, what church? Y'all found a church with that quick? Well, that's really cool. I said, so what's the name of the church? Oh, we're going to such and such church. The church that I've seen in North Carolina. So I went, so we're gonna drive back to North Carolina so you can go to that church?
But they had more than one location.
In my mind, I'm thinking, oh, that's
a
dedication.
franchise.
That's a dedication to. They went, oh, no. It's up here in Virginia too. And I went, oh my God, this is the McDonald's of churches. You have franchises everywhere.
They got franchise agreements.
I'm not going to ever repeat this in church ever. I will never repeat this. Never ever will I say this. No.
So that's why I said
it's a franchise.
So that's why I said there is a bishop they run everything of that church.
Right.
Their assistants.
But that's like how Catholics do it.
Whatever. Their assistants are ordained pastors. They are pastors. Okay. But the person who runs everything is known as bishop.
You know what's funny? This is like the military in the sense that you just named a branch and they got a different name and ranking system for the exact same positions. This is how we do it over here. And this is how they do it over there.
And we really shouldn't even have ranking systems, but oh well.
Right, the whole respecter of people and all that good stuff, and Jesus is your intercessionary, so you don't need to have anybody interceding on your behalf, all that stuff. But we're gonna get rid of all that because what the church unfortunately had on the earthly side of things is it's a way to mimic the power that you may not have been able to achieve in traditional corporate America.
These, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at what Parker just
Parker, please go to bed.
What he say?
Go to bed, Parker.
Larry Elder could never be known as an actual elder in the church. Yes, Frank.
Elder Larry Elder?
Elder Larry.
Parker, go to sleep. It's time for you to go to bed. It's past your bedtime.
It may actually be just messing with you, Parker. So yeah. So when I tell you I'm surrounded by different, by the way, all of this is Baptist. It's just a different form of how the church is ran.
Because that's why this is one of the things.
Okay, well, okay. The church I was talking about is holiness.
Yeah, I was going to say that sounds like holiness. That sounded like it when you start
churches
to
and them non-denominational churches is, boy, they be out there. But anyway, what I was gonna say though is that's where people like me anyway gets one of the places we get kind of frustrated is because you can't tell me that this is of God because God is not the author of confusion. So this is man that keeps coming up with, well, I'm gonna do it a little different. Or I know a better way to do it, or I'm gonna build this whole giant infrastructure where I got campus 1, campus 2, campus 3, because people are coming to the church because it's TD Jakes. See, this TD Jakes church. So even though TD Jakes is only in, campus 1, the fact is this is all tied to the Potter's house. So I'm going to Potter's house 4. That's not really uplifting God. That's actually focusing in on man. But we do this stuff and pretend like nobody's supposed to notice how disjointed all this stuff has become.
And then get mad when somebody
Jesus didn't even preach in the church.
We're not supposed to point out that TD Jakes actually has a McDonald's in one of their sanctuaries.
Well, who cares about that? I mean, people get hungry. But it's funny though. Like churches now, they got God. What's in the Bible. In the Bible, they had a whole thing about money changers in the church, right? People were selling things, and they had turned into basically like a flea market inside the church. And then what do? We don't do it now because CDs are outdated. But what did we do for the longest time in the black church? So CDs in the vestibule. Boy, you can go buy the church service on the CD out there up front. Or we got this book that so and so wrote, and you buy this out front. And then, wait, now we got ATMs in the church lobby. So if you forgot to get your money before you got here, we got the money here for you. And it's just like, y'all don't see the irony in all this?
Yes, I remember reading that in the Bible. We got to move on, but I do remember reading that in the Bible. Jesus took 2 loaves of bread and 2 fishes and fed everybody fish fillets.
No. No.
Everybody got a fish sandwich.
Everybody got a fish sandwich. Hot sauce on the side.
But before he would allow anyone to eat, he had to make sure you had a job first.
So
and then you had to work, and then you had to show
here's your application.